Another real-life character in next Monday's film At Midnight, a vivid account of the life of famous escapologist Harry Houdini, played by Tony Curtis.
What about the people looking at this? What do they think? Do they want to be enemy, or do they want to be friendly? Or do they even think of these terms? Or is it my paranoia?
Listen to me!
First Division football and boxing in Sportsweek, a little over 5 minutes.
I just didn't think when you go on holiday you could end up in jail. I feel terrible about Steve. His mum and dad couldn't afford the bail, so he's stuck in a prison. He'll be out there for ages now. I don't remember smashing the place up at all. I was just having a few drinks and, well, next thing I knew, I'm waking up in jail next morning. This guy from the consul turns up, and we thought, great, he's going to get us out now. He said, no, he couldn't. He was really helpful as far as he could go. He gave us, like, advice and told us about the lawyers, but he said he couldn't give us any money for the bail, so he contacted my mum and dad. That's raised 14,000 quid. When I got home, my mum told me that they had to remortgage the house. I wish I hadn't done that. My mum's having to start work again, and I can't help. I got no money. I can't carry on like this. I haven't even got, like, my best mate.
If you get in trouble with the law abroad, you pay the price. When you're driving on motorways, you'll often see these signals. In normal conditions, they won't be lit, but in fog, or if there's any form of danger ahead, then the amber lights will flash and the signal will tell you the maximum speed to go. 50, for example, or 20, or 40. This signal tells you that a lane is closed. When you see this signal, you'll know the danger is past and the restriction is ended. On urban motorways, there's a signal mounted over each lane. Again, if it's foggy or if there's danger ahead, the signals will show the maximum speed at which it is safe to go in your lane. An arrow like this tells you to move to the lane to your left, or the lane to your right. An arrow like this tells you to leave the motorway at the next exit. If the amber lights change to red lights flashing above your lane, then you must not proceed any further in that particular lane. So, even if you can't see the danger, please do as these signals say. They're for your safety.
This royal throne of kings, this sceptred isle, this earth of majesty, this seat of Mars, this other Eden demi-paradise, this fortress built by nature for herself against infection and the hand of war. This happy breed of men, this little world, this precious stone set in a silver sea, which serves it in the office of a wall or as a moat defensive to a house against the envy of less happier lands. This blessed plot, this earth, this realm, this England.
Man's best friend can sometimes be a little nuisance. Fouling can not only be unpleasant for other people, but may occasionally be a health hazard. So train your dog to do it at home, and if there is a mistake, bag it and bin it. And remember, all pets should be wormed at least every 6 months. See that your best friend is kept healthy and well trained, and then he'll be everyone's friend.
We're watching Broadcasting History.
Dang, 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 ding it on.
Night time.
It's news time, actually, and we go back to Brenda Rowe at ITN.
The driver of the stationary express in the Clapham Junction crash has spoken of the terrible moment when another train slammed into the back of his. Alex McClimmon said he was standing at the side of the track, talking to signallers on the telephone when the crash happened. But he refused to comment on the state of the signals before the crash, amid reports that their red stoplight was only working intermittently. Faulty signal wiring is now thought to have caused the disaster, which killed at least 36 people.
At Clapham Junction, engineers are working through the night trying to clear the tracks of the tangled wreckage in which over 30 people died. An independent public inquiry has already been promised by the government. It will run alongside British Rail's own investigations into the cause of the disaster. But already BR executives are pointing to a signals fault.
From the work which we have done, the investigations we've done so far, it would appear that there was a technical fault associated with the re-signalling work in progress that may be at the bottom of the excerpt.
People who'd experienced the crash travelled back home at night only too aware of how close they'd been to death.
Very relieved to be going home, I must admit. My wife's been trying to contact me all day, but I managed to get a message through to her to say that I was okay.
When we saw the pictures later on, it was very frightening. Imagine if I'd been about 6 carriages further back. Imagine you could have actually been in it. Pretty horrific.
As the clearing operation continued, opposition MPs called for the independent inquiry to address one central question. That was, has British Rail, in attempting to cut costs, cut safety standards as well?
Police in Holland are hunting thieves who stole 3 Van Gogh paintings in one of the world's biggest art thefts. They include his world-famous Potato Eaters, which experts think would be worth around £25 million at auction. The paintings were taken from a national museum at Otterlo near the German border. Former British Olympic runner David Jenkins is starting a 7-year jail sentence in America for his part in a multi-million-dollar ring that supplied steroids to athletes. Jenkins was the mastermind behind a massive drug-making and smuggling ring that stretched across America. That's all for now. More news later.
It's Sportsweek, this week with Bob Hall.
If you like your sport fast and furious, stay with me for the next 45 minutes. I can promise you pace and punch. You'll get a kick out of Sportsweek. Sensational boxing action from Madison Square Garden this morning. The man they